What is going on, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video. I'm just going to start this video off with an apology, because this ROH TV review is heavily delayed. Long story short, Thursday night, I felt like crap, and I'm just going to wait and watch ROH Friday. Internet was out Friday. By the time the internet came back, I had stuff to do, mainly watch my Memphis Grizzlies have an abysmal Game 6 in the NBA playoffs, and that made me very mad. And then, long story short, I did not watch this episode of ROH until 4 a.m. Friday night. So I'm now finally getting to review it. Again, I'm sorry for the delay, but to be fair, this episode was very lackluster. It was the shortest episode that we've seen so far, and the last matchup that takes place on this show is an old matchup of Samoa Joe versus James Gibson. So I don't really know if there's like an issue or just like a reasoning for this episode being like it was. But like I said, it's an hour 30 long. The last 30 minutes is an old match of Samoa Joe and James Gibson, which, to be fair, if this was any other week, I probably would have watched the match and reviewed it. But because this is so delayed and I'm just ready to put it behind me, like I literally put it behind me. I'm just ready to put it behind me. I didn't watch the match. I'm just ready to get this review done with. We had a lot of squash matches, and to be fair, they probably should have spread these matches out that way, because the last three matches are very good. The other ones are just squash, quick matchups that took place. The first matchup was Athena versus Lady Frost in a proving ground matchup. It was very fast-paced from early on, but with a variation. I put a variation. I very rarely use that word. A variation of flips and kicks between the two. And Lady Frost has a nice spinning moonsault, but it does not matter because Athena recovers soon after and wins with a massive forearm. Next matchup is the Infantry versus LFI. Preston Vance and Charlie Bravo start the match off. That does not matter because LFI dominate the matchup, and ROH wins the matchup for his team after hitting Bull's horn. Next, we get Joe Ocasio and Mookie Sumners versus the Best Friends, which they noted several times on commentary. This is the first time we've seen Best Friends in ROH since 2019. Joe and Trent start the match off, and it's very good until Joe and Trent start the match off, but Trent hits a running knee on Joe and he tags out. The Best Friends have the advantage from that standpoint, including hitting pile drivers onto both their opponents, and they win with a doomsday. But instead of using the clothesline, it was a knee off the top rope. I still called it a doomsday device. Next match, Brian Cage versus Leon Ruffin. Even though Cage dominates and manhandles Ruffin for, I would say, 80% of the matchup, it almost seems like Cage is going to win easily after hitting an F5, but Ruffin reverses it and hits a springboard cutter after it. Cage recovers from that, however, to hit a massive clothesline, a series of power bombs, and wins with a vicious leg lock. Next matchup is Jeeves K and Sonny Kiss versus the Dark Order's Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. The Righteous watch the match from the ramp, leading to Jeeves K hitting a sneak attack onto Evil Uno. The Dark Order are dominated early on and don't have the advantage till Grayson is able to tag into the matchup. The Dark Order win with a pile driver running kick combination where Uno had him up in the pile driver position and Uno runs into him and kicks him. Next, we had a promo from Christopher Daniels, who really wants to win a championship in Ring of Honor, but I'm looking over there because it's the Nuggets and Suns game. I'm trying to see the scores. 27-28 at the moment. Anyways, he's won many championships in Ring of Honor. He's had a big history in Ring of Honor, but a lot of the championships that he's won and a lot of things that he's done doesn't really matter. He wants to win a championship now, and the specific championship he is targeting, the guy that he challenges, is Samoa Joe. He mentions their history, that they faced several times, with Christopher Daniels losing, of course, a majority of those times. But it sets up a matchup between the two next week, which shall be very interesting. It's been I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen them compete against each other, but it will be very interesting to see. Now, the next three matchups, like I said, These first matchups were squash matches. I'll admit it. These next 3 matchups, I say it in all my reviews. I love watching the even matchups where you don't know who's going to win. It makes it entertaining. These last 3 matchups definitely had that. This one being Diamante versus Sky Blue. We get many pin attempts early on from both. Diamante targets Sky Blue's back following a neck breaker into the ring ropes. Sky fights back with a crossbody, and both women are on the apron and exchange forearms, but Diamante hits a German suplex while on the apron. While attempting a skyfall, Sky Blue is able to lock in a roll-up and win the matchup. After the matchup, Athena appears on the stage and has Sky Blue's hat and steps on it, which, as a person with a hat collection, as y'all can see behind me, I'd feel some type of way about it. Next matchup, Lee Moriarty versus Rocky Romero. Romero gets distracted by Big Bill on the outside, and Romero has to fight the matchup with a damaged arm following that, but is still able to hit his forever clotheslines, but Moriarty keeps targeting the arm following that. Romero hits a dive onto Big Bill on the outside, but Bill is able to recover before he's able to get back in the ring. It's a massive chokeslam on the apron, which damages Romero's arm even more, and Lee Moriarty wins the matchup with a drop kick. This is not enough, as next week, Rocky Romero challenged Lee Moriarty to a rematch, this time with pure rules. So, it shall be, I think it should be a good matchup. This is an okay matchup. That should be a good matchup. Okay, Aaron Gordon shoots the ball. It goes in. It's a replay, so I'm trying to delay it to see what the score is. 32-31 Phoenix. 6 seconds left in the first. The main event, or the second to last matchup. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I'm going to mention it again. Alright, I'll get to it after this one. This is a very bad review, but let's just finish it. Gringo Loco versus Blake Christian. Alright, he misses. The Suns are leading after the first quarter by 1 point. Gringo Loco versus Blake Christian. Fast-paced early on with lots of flips, but none of them really seem to have any effect until Gringo Loco hits his dive onto the outside. Blake Christian's able to recover and hit a Fosbury flop. I almost said Fosbury flop to the outside. Gringo reverses a handspring into a powerbomb, but Blake Christian is able to hit a reverse Hurricanrana off the top rope, a Spanish fly, and wins the matchup with a springboard for 50. And like I said, this episode of ROH, and the 9 that we've seen, is definitely the most lackluster. It's also the shortest episode. Like I said, it was an hour 30 minutes long. Once this main event started, it was at the 50-minute mark, and I'm like, they're going to go 40 minutes. No. The last matchup was a Samoa Joe versus James Gibson match, which, if this was any other week, I probably would have watched the match and reviewed it. But because I'm so lazy, I'm ready to get this review done with, I didn't watch it, and I reviewed the actual matchups that took place during these events. So like I said, sorry for the delayed review. To be fair, y'all weren't really missing that much. For the stuff that was already announced to happen next week, I'm looking forward to that episode a lot more. And hopefully this week treats myself and my viewers, and you know what? Because I'm such a nice person, it treats everyone a lot better. So, thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.